guys, we've got the new girl, Izzy Lush.
We see that story of developing a lot with those aggressive players that go for those high elimination games. Reminds me of players like Unknown Army. It's a very kind of big hit or miss day for them. Do they pick up those eliminations that they're constantly seeking for, or do those extra fights they keep taking, or often forcing to, they take those fights with less advantages than other players? We saw Cease earlier just kind of taking every fight only if he had a massive advantage in the fight, but Miro falls again, but he can drop some big eliminations, so that's the other thing. You can never count them out. One or two big games and they're straight back up there. It's Pod Genesis trying to get into this Slopey Storms. Does he take the wall? He doesn't, so he has to back out in the water last week. So an endgame we haven't seen so far in this season, and maybe an endgame that'll throw kind of a spanner in the works for some of these newer players who maybe aren't as adept to playing through there. There's a lot of spare shield lying around as well, which is massive, but with the removal of a lot of the vehicles around the map, with how many players fell, there was no storm surge in sight, but all of a sudden things were really starting to gather together. The atmosphere starting to become more and more dense. It's going to be really hard to breathe. But he was dropping at Authority, and that's who we saw go down to Cease the first two games, and I think he's changed up his drop spot. He's still not finding any purchase. But again, there are 4 rounds of this. It's all a learning experience. This FNCS is a great way for these newer players to get this experience in against these stacked players and learn from their mistakes, like that one there. That is a very easy mistake that he can now fix and take forward into next week's games, or even the final 3 games. But full minute on the clock now. He's gonna have to make this rotate. Zone 4 is gonna be a pivot works, but wait a second. Joji lands flying in with the Hadouken from up above. He hits him for 100. My gosh. This one you need to try and capitalize on that. And I think that's what Booger's doing here. He has found these players that are unfortunately below the Storm Surge threshold, and there it is. It clears out the lobby very quickly as soon as Storm Surge goes active, and we are back down below 50, and now all these players have just gained 1 place in point 2, which is so crucial, and Booger has a very crucial rotate ahead of him. Does he use the crash pads? Does he use the launch pad? But he is looking so good. That guaranteed launch pad out of Rickety Rig is so important for these stacked endgames. It is instrumental to, I believe, Arkham's success, and now Booger here taking up his mantle with the same drop spot. That's right. It gives you the free half in, half out. It gives you the free zone 6 rotate if you're even luckier at that point. So this time around, the launch pad being used here is going to find his nice safe nook here. Sets up a little 2x1 situated base, giving him a little bit of protection and backing. But now it's time to play for this end game. This is where things are going to get real interesting. I see Gabe lighting up the feed. Gabe had a phenomenal day yesterday, edging his way out into top 10. I saw Acorn still alive. If he clicks on height here, just get you guys all caught up. This is game 3, right? We're in the halfway mark now. This is where players, the leaders, start to solidify their placement and their way to the top. But no one is safe. As fast as you made it this far, it's as fast as you can fall behind. So consistency is going to be the name of the game right now. There's a lot of pressure on those names at the top. DreamHack Finals, usually the most stacked lobbies we've seen recently, with also the Booger Cup too. But this format so far, we are seeing leave a much, much closer margin at the top. It comes down to the last game for almost every round of every region. So it's going to be the halfway mark, but there's no one staking once they make it. But Stowe, as we last checked in, had the
And that cherry certainly was not a maraschino one. It was bittersweet, and he'll take it, but no extra elimination point going from him. Bugha going down to the fall damage.